Congratulations. I
She didn't
say
get
it.
hers. No. But it was a very nice. Yeah, thank you. What's up? I have to tell you, I'm going to be totally honest with you.
We saw last night, Movie City 5, and
Because I was there. This is very close. There is no fence. This is.
Well, when you come this way,
it's almost cheaper than used services.
so like already there.
This is a no-brainer. I don't have to deal with anything else.
There's gonna be less runoff, more runoff.
Oh my God.
There you go. This is gonna get more
Because
That's a good question.
Secretary wants to include a section of politicians. So, you know, and we always say, like, somebody like.
Because this is crowds.
You got something new for me?
It can maybe go around it a little bit more. I don't know how far it goes.
So hopefully we won't have like a nice weekend of rain. No, I think it's supposed to be nice this weekend. Yes. And who knows this road? They do say it's dark too. Always it's warm. Yeah, it's supposed to be like
It's close.
Yeah.
And Dave would show up.
Everybody ready?
One of our connections to the beach.
Yeah.
Are we almost ready? Yeah. Ready?
Of course.
He's the older gentleman who usually calls.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe there can be.
Russ.
Russ, you ready?
Right. I've been to a live meeting since.
Good? Okay. Good evening. I'd like to call the Borough Council meeting to order. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent possible, the agenda by posting a copy of the notice in the municipal building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune, and by filing a copy in the office of the Borough Clerk. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Here.
Councilman Collins.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilman Peretti.
Here.
Councilman Potter.
Here.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Okay. If you'll please rise and join me in a moment of silence, followed by a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so now we'll move on to the public comment. This public comment portion is limited to comment on the resolutions listed on the agenda. If you wish to speak, please step up to the microphone and say your name and address for the record. Remember, this is on resolutions only. Yes.
George Murray, 4 Southbrook Drive. I have a couple questions for the bills and claims. CON-01, it's Conrail Corp., it's a lease. What is that?
That is for the easement for the railroad. I don't have a copy of the lease with me, but that's what that's for.
And where's that easement for the railroad?
I can't tell you that, I don't know.
Would you happen to know, Mr. McClellan?
I'm gonna guess Violet Terrace.
Violet Terrace?
Yeah, Violet Terrace was put in before my time, actually, but I believe it may have been Violet Terrace.
Okay. What about MAR 47? That's Morano Law for 2865. That's for Ford Avenue litigation.
Which one, I'm sorry?
MAR 47
That's the bankruptcy attorney.
and WIL 05, Lenz Goldman Spitzer for 942.
Okay, that's for affordable housing, so.
I thought that none of this was costing the residents anything. This is all, is this being paid for by the Ford Avenue, the redeveloper?
For the litigation
For
with
any of it.
Berger, not for his bankruptcy matters, that he filed a bankruptcy and we had to enforce collections based on the payment plan agreement. So that's outside of the scope of what the redeveloper would be responsible for.
Okay, so the residents are paying for this. This is coming out of tax dollars.
For the bankruptcy, for sure.
Okay, and then for the RFPs for 268-2023, I see comparing from last year's to this year's representatives that it went out to. I see that it's missing the IT professional and special deputy police.
Okay, because that has to be, go through a different procurement method.
What about the JIF individual
It's a different procurement method.
and the QPA?
QPA will be separate because the QPA actually prepared the resolution and he can't put himself, can't do it for the same position.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing no further comments, I'll close this portion of the meeting and move on to the approval of minutes. Does anyone have any, from October 10th, 2023? Does any member of the public have any comments or correction? So can I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes?
So moved.
I
Second?
have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm going to abstain. I was
Oh.
absent at that.
Okay, thanks. Next, we'll move on to the bills. Will the clerk please read Resolution 266, 2023, authorizing bill payment by title only?
Resolution 266, 2023, authorizing the payment of bills, claims, and statements against the Borough of Milltown in the total amount of $3,073,940.89.
May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman second, Margaret?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilman Collins.
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
So moved. Next, we'll move on to the consent agenda. A consent resolution has been prepared for the resolutions listed on the agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and having been reviewed by the Borough Council will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of funds. If any member of the council wants any resolution acted upon individually, please give me the resolution number and it will be pulled from the consent resolution.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to pull 268-2023.
268, okay. Anyone else?
I just have a short question on 268-2023. So when the request goes out to all the professionals to submit whatever proposals they have, was it communicated to them how we wanted it back, digital versus paper?
Well, this is just the resolution that's going to allow us to
Right,
go
right.
out, and it will be digital.
Okay, thank you.
Will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting upon certain conditions, and whereas each of the following resolutions to be presented before the Borough Council at its October 23rd, 2023 regular meeting appear to have the unanimous approval of all members of the Borough Council, Resolutions 269, 2023 through 275, 2023. Now therefore be resolved by the Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown that each of the above listed resolutions be approved and adopted by the Borough Council with the same legal effect as though each was read in its entirety at the October 23rd, 2023 regular meeting and adopted by separate vote.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I make a resolution that these resolutions be adopted. Make a motion these resolutions be adopted. Too many resolutions.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Council President Zambrana. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilman Collins.
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
So moved. Will the clerk please read Resolution 268, 2023 by title?
Resolution 268, 2023, authorizing the Borough Clerk to prepare a request for proposals for professional services and to publicize the same.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman O'Donnell, second by Councilman Peretti. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I had a question on the planner. Is that just our regular planner, because it has a planner above, and it says planning board planner, but we hire a special planner? Do we have to put that on there too? Or we hire another special planner, or does that go around that?
Generally, we just have one planner. What would if you wanted us, I don't know what a special planner would be for.
Now, I had another question on the council, because it says special litigation council, and here underneath it says Fort Avenue Special Counsel. Is that limited to one council, or is there more than one council on either one of these litigation councils?
So the Special Litigation Council is a separate entity that's for, I believe, the Fort Avenue.
John, are you asking if it's a firm or an individual person?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it one firm, two firms?
Typically, we have one firm that represents the agency as well as the borough in that litigation.
And one in
And
Fort
it's
Avenue?
typically, it's the Fort Avenue aspect, it's the affordable housing aspect of Fort Avenue. So,
I see.
you've got a number of different irons in the fire with respect to Fort Avenue. You've got your affordable housing obligation, you've got the actual redevelopment of the property and the condemnation action, you've got the bankruptcy that's been filed by the property owner. So you've got a lot of different hats that need to be worn.
Councils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
You got it.
Any other questions? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilman Collins.
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to reports from the council, and we'll begin with Councilwoman Margaret O'Donnell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have some information from Police Chief Brian Kennelly, and I will begin with that. And this is an informal report, his formal report with the, number of calls and types of calls will be at our next meeting. But we're keeping a close eye on detour traffic, especially at school dismissal. Looking forward to finishing the work season on the roads in November. He also asked me to mention for Halloween, there are curfews on October 30th and 31st of 8 p.m. and no trick-or-treating past 8 p.m. Please drive safely. Pedestrian traffic will be increased at that time. The Middletown Fire Department, again, not a formal report, but they always do ask me to remind everyone that anyone who's interested in membership or any questions about joining can stop by the firehouse on any Monday evening at 6:30 to learn more. And again, Middletown Rescue Squad, their formal report will come at the next meeting, but I wanted to mention that with the passage of tonight's consent agenda, the borough donated a vehicle to Middletown Rescue Squad, and it will be used for future training, especially things like extrication for the new members to learn about and to learn how to use the tools, mimicking real world conditions. As always, we can't thank the Middletown Rescue Squad enough for all that they do, and including that they will sort of serve as the informal host for Haunted River Walk, since so much happens right there in their lot. So thank you to the Rescue Squad. And that concludes my informal reports, but the library report, we didn't want that to go unsaid with the absence of their liaison tonight. So I will share that the library had a very successful first fall harvest day. There were over 170 people who stopped by. Future upcoming events include October 28th's Haunted New Jersey, October 30th's Bingo and Pizza, October 31st, Halloween Yoga, and there will be a food drive for 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks anyway, November 1st to the 13th. Please bring non-perishable items to the library for the benefit of the Middlesex County Food Bank. Thank you, Deputy Miller, for providing that quick report when she realized he wouldn't be here. And that concludes reports for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Next, we go to Councilman Dave Potter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Short report tonight, Madam Mayor, for the Utilities Committee. Our next planned meeting is tomorrow. For the PSE&G project, the gas line work is progressing, and PSE&G appreciates the continued patience and cooperation from all who are affected. PSE&G is also aware of the Haunted River Walk this Thursday through Saturday and plans not to be in that area at the time of the event. As a reminder to any resident who has a question or concern regarding PSE&G, to please contact them directly at 1-833-661-6400. For our water utility projects, the work on Highland Drive and East Lawrence is ongoing, and we're looking forward to the CME report by Lou to be provided for this project. And Madam Mayor, I'd also like to thank our electric and water sewer departments. They had a very busy day this past Thursday. Our electric department handled a major line replacement that affected over 50 houses, and on Chestnut and Highland Drive. And our water sewer department had a water main break on that day as well. So it was very busy, but everything was done in-house and done within hours, and we thank them for all their hard work and dedication. Next planning board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 1st, and that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Glad to hear that they were all fixed in-house and fairly quickly.
Absolutely, thank you.
And thanks to all the people that worked on that. Next, we will move on. Does anybody have the DPW report for Councilman Revelinsky? Okay, we'll move on then.
Was there a DPW report in the packet? I forgot.
No, it was just everybody's reports, monthly reports were the first meeting of the month. But there was nothing.
But yeah, they did have a committee meeting, so, but we'll get to that. I'm sure he'll get to that next time, if he's here.
If you want John or me to cover anything from that,
Okay. Oh, good. Councilman Collins is next, so we'll see what. So Councilman Collins, your report this evening?
No reports, Madam Mayor. I just want to state that the Environmental Commission is having their Zoom meeting Wednesday night, October 25th, if anybody would like to attend.
Okay. Any updates from the Board of Ed?
No, no updates.
No, any updates from DPW?
Nope, I haven't received anything.
Didn't you have a meeting last week?
Yes, we did have a meeting.
Nothing to share?
Not right now.
Okay. Next, we'll move on to the report from Councilman James Peretti.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Pretty much the biggest news out of the Recreation Department is what was passed on tonight's agenda. So I want to officially welcome Kelly Boyd as our new Recreation Director. For most residents, I hope already know Kelly. She's a local resident who has been on the Recreation Advisory Committee as one of our citizen members and has been really engaged. And once this position became open, she was very enthused, and we were very, very thrilled to have her join the borough as an official employee. Really looking forward to working with her come November. And we already have a few things that we're going to hopefully meet as myself, Councilmember Walensky, and Councilman Potter to go over to kind of set, to use the 30, 60, 90 plan, but probably elongated when in public service, but to set some kind of plan in place to help make sure the transition is nice and smooth. But again, the council, the department, and the committee is very excited to work with somebody who already has a knowledge of the department and can hit the ground running. So welcome, Kelly, and we look forward to November having our first Citizen Recreation Advisory Committee and Kelly preparing her first report for the November meeting. For committees, the Revitalization Committee, we had our recap for Milltown Day in our October meeting. Really good notes. Again, kind of talked about some successes, mostly around vendor turnout, and some opportunities about some layout opportunities that we can have to get more spots and also kind of accommodate the different types of vendors that are coming. Particularly, we're getting more food trucks, and that creates more opportunities around how we can make the park more accessible for the food trucks and more accessible for the residents who are looking to frequent those trucks, as well as the other vendor tents nearby. So if kind of already getting an early plug for 2024, if something like that, Milltown Day or any other committees that the council is reporting on, make sure the residents are checking out the citizen leadership applications on the borough website. Committees like the Revitalization Committee definitely is a big focus on Milltown Day. But now from Milltown Day, we'll be turning the page and looking to see how we can use the funds that we fundraised to put into projects. And likewise, harkening back to Kelly Boyd, joining the Recreation Advisory Committee, learning more about recreation, and then subsequently having an opportunity to apply for positions. So those resident committees are really important. They help run the town, but more importantly, they give residents a chance to voice their opinions and help create projects that are fulfilling and help, like Milltown Day, fill a unique opportunity in town to showcase our local businesses. So check out those applications, and looking forward to seeing more resident involvement towards the end of the year and beginning next year. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Next, we have our council president, Phil Zambrano.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have a finance or a senior center report tonight. We will be having a Milltown Historical Preservation Committee meeting this Thursday via Zoom at 7:30. As always, anyone can join in by clicking on the Zoom link next to the calendar invite, and you'll be led into the meeting. Just as an FYI, Randy Ruth was able to coordinate a meeting today with the Middlesex County Division of History and Historical Preservation. Mark Nonestide is the division head there. Really just to piggyback on the report that he submitted to the county about relocating the Raritan River Railroad Station from this side of Washington Avenue to this side of Washington Avenue from behind Four Boys. Mark was very cordial. Kelly Ruffle, a colleague of his, was there. He promised to get Randy comments back within a week. And I was there just to kind of lend support. Anything we could do to kind of help that process along is important, in my opinion. As new developments there come up, we'll present them back to the residents and the council for their input. And then the Ford Avenue meeting, Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency meeting was held last Tuesday, 7 o'clock here in Borough Chambers. At that time, our legal counsel gave us some dates about the settlement conferences and the final pretrial conferences. Today I found out that the settlement conference and the pretrial conference have been moved ahead because of delays with Mr. Berger and his attorneys. So as those dates change and new dates become available, we'll provide them to the residents of the town at the next Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency meeting. I would be remiss if I did not thank two particular families on Ford Avenue, the Millers and the Haas families, for continually bringing up situations and issues that are going down at Ford Avenue. It's because of those folks there who always have their eyes open, obviously, for what's going on. I was able to go down there over last Friday, take pictures with some garbage disposal issues, forward them over to our Board of Health through Jeanette Larison, and all that information has been forwarded to our attorneys, both bankruptcy, both internal, you name it. And today we were able to get the Board of Health inspector out there to follow up and figure out what's going on to take care of next steps. So again, thank you for continually sending out updates on things that are going on. Keep it up. And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Next, we'll move on to our borough engineer, Mr. McClellan.
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you very much. We're going to discuss the water system improvements. I asked my colleague Lou Plaskanka to go through that with you quickly. Next item is West Foch Avenue. We did receive bids, and they're within probably 2 to 3% of our original estimate. We're pleased to report that we will have a report recommending award at your next meeting. We've checked out the contractor, and we'll have a recommendation awaiting for your next meeting. Other things to discuss tonight, we provided a working copy of our concept plan for the Albert Avenue bike path improvements, which we have modified this plan to include the requests and comments we received from council at the last meeting. We've located the trees along Hill Street. We've talked with your Public Works Director relative to the size of the athletic field, which is really a softball field. It is concerning because we have to run a walkway back there, and we wanted to minimize tree removal. That's been shown on the revised plan. The field is approximately 200 feet to the outfield. We understand that that is acceptable to the borough. And we did connect and put in a crosswalk on Albert Avenue as requested. So this is just a progress print for your review. Any comments? We don't necessarily need them tonight, but as time goes on, as I remember, I talked about possibly bidding by end of year and having the contractor ready for spring 2024. Okay. With that, I'll let Lou discuss the status of the water permit.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last report to the mayor and council, the water system improvements on Wilson Avenue have been completed, and the cleaning and lining on Highland, Oak, and East Lawrence have also been completed. They're presently moving the service connections over to the new water lines. That leaves left in the project the air release valves and the final restoration. They're going to work on the air release valves when the water services are complete. They're going to move over and do that work, and then get the final restoration done. And at that point, we should be in a position to close out the project.
Do we have an estimate timeline on when that's going to happen?
The services, I think, are about another week to 2 weeks, probably a week for the ARVs, and then figure about 2 weeks for a restoration.
All right. Can we, like I said in the past, that's a heavy Halloween traffic area. Is there any way we can make sure that things are protected so people aren't running into them?
Yeah, we were actually talking about that tonight. We're
Okay.
going to talk to the contractor tomorrow and make sure he buttons everything up for Halloween.
All right, appreciate that.
So this should alleviate the problem that the couple houses on Wilson's problems, correct?
Yes, their services have been relocated, so they're no longer on the dead end.
And it's with that hydrant, so they don't have to keep on flushing the hydrant every other month, so.
Exactly.
Excellent. Did anybody reach out to the homeowners and let them know it's complete?
Yes, they
Okay,
were aware.
perfect. They're very happy?
I believe so.
All right, great, because I haven't gotten an email, so that's a good sign. No news is good news, so.
Lou, I just have one quick question about the restorative aspect of your report. And
Yes.
I guess that has to do with Highland and East Lawrence and Chestnut. So ballpark, do you know when that restorative means the road, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so the trench has been based to the surface. They have to come back and basically mill off a couple inches and then put the final surface course on the trench.
Okay.
And then there's some milling and paving to be done on Wilson
Yep.
at the intersection.
Yep, that's kind of in my side of town, and I'm getting a lot of emails about that. Yep, but thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
So the DPW committee met on Thursday and looked at the plan, super excited about it coming along so well. But there will be some feedback. Can you give us a deadline by which you need that? Because I have some of it in my notes, but our chair is not, of the committee is not here. And if you needed it right away, I'd absolutely provide it, but I'd certainly rather it come from our chair.
Next month is fine. We have a lot of work to do still, so if you let us know by next month.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you for the report, appreciate it. BA, anything?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
And our Borough Attorney, Mr. Vignolo?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Well, back to me. I don't have anything to report. I would like to thank the library for doing such a great job with the Harvest Festival. It was very nice to see so many people out there, and there were so many events going on. It's great to see everybody out. Even given that it's rained every single weekend, it's been great to see so many people out and enjoying things, and it looks like a beautiful week ahead. So I wish everyone a happy Halloween, and be safe and be careful. So we can move on to old business. Does any member of the council have any old business to bring before the council this evening? Hearing none, I will close old business and move on to new business. Does any member of the council have any new business to bring before the council this evening? Hearing none, I will close new business and move on to audience comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker has finished. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has specific questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the appropriate office during regular business hours or with a member of the council during and at their convenience. Please state your name and address for the record when you come to the podium. Yes, sir. Hi, Alan.
Evening. Alan Godber, 4 Fern Place, Environmental Commission and the Lawrence Brook Watershed Partnership. You're probably tired of seeing me hear this, but here we are again. I'm afraid it rained again. It rained again on Saturday, so
That's right, 8 weeks in a row.
this is the first time we've ever had to do this. A third attempt at doing a bicycle ride. So this next Sunday, we're just hoping it's not going to be the 8th wet weekend, at least not on Sunday. And please come and join us, 9 a.m. meeting just up the hill here next to the ice cream place and behind the Lawrence Brook Watershed Partnership building, the red brick building. 8:30 for a 9 o'clock start, and it'll be about maybe 3 hours activity. So let's hope for some good weather and
Hope so.
enjoy it.
Thank you. Good luck. Anyone else? Yes. Hey.
Lee Weisenberger, 99 JFK Drive. Couple things tonight. Curious with the core samplings over with Acme, Riser Realty, anything back on that?
Say it again, Lee, I'm sorry.
With the Riser Realty, with the Acme lot, they were gonna do core samples over there a while back, I thought.
That would be done by private developer, we have not received any.
Okay, just checking. The pipe that's broken under the turnpike, that's going back quite a ways now. That pipe was put in when the depot and the tower were built, the water tower?
No, that pipe was in there probably long before that. That pipe was probably in there, probably when the turnpike widened. It's, again, before my time.
Okay,
It's
but-
over 40 years.
But there's dual pipes, so they were both going back,
There's a pipe in Main Street and a pipe under the turnpike. There's 2 pipes.
okay, but both the same age?
No, the pipe in Main Street was upgraded probably about 25 years ago.
Then when the water tower got put in, basically,
No,
or
after
later?
that, after that.
Okay, so it's an old pipe.
The pipe under the turnpike in the other locations, old, but the one under the, across the bridge is much newer.
Right, okay,
Yeah, 25 years of water like that old.
just checking on it. The railroad trestle, just like to catch up on this. We brought it up many times, we're talking about it a lot. It's a safety issue, basically, I believe, if not anything else, the condition of it. And I believe some time ago, when Mr. Buck was our attorney, he sent a letter to Mr. Berger about that, and I don't know if we ever got a reply on it. I was just curious, you know? But to help out with that bit again, that trestle goes back to 1905. Like I said, Michelin had it put in. I shouldn't actually say that. The Raton River Railroad put it in. That's a courtesy, just like laying the track and the rest of it. Like I said, a lot of time expired. Mr. Berger took over, as Al saw. And when the track was no longer in use, had he notified Raritan River, I believe, they would have taken it out. But he didn't do that. And he kept that property too, because he probably thought the rail might be used again into the plant, and it didn't happen. So he had a 2-year period to do that, which is in all the deeds with Raritan River. And so he's stuck with it. And that's it. So, like I said, just passing that along. But pertaining to that again, with the backup of the water to the trestle from below, when you say that then, that leads me to believe we have 2 glitches below the dam, 2 choke points, Riders Lane and the big trestle probably then. And I think Riders Lane is probably the bigger problem, which is a county bridge. And like I said, I think our argument, or whatever you want to bring up, is with the county once again. And like I said, the water coming down from above is not going to be less over the years, because they just keep building.
Yep.
So, like I said, pass that along. I also finally got to the third part of the title search, which was Mimi Marler got from Mr. Cahill. And I've been reading that now and trying to read it. The copy is not good. It's tough to make out a lot of it. But it does refer to the land under the water being owned by Meyer. And that would pass down to Alsall. So I believe he is the owner. And that brings me to a question now with Ford Avenue. Once again, I keep bringing this up. I don't know what the agreement is on Ford Avenue, basically, with this condemnation, whatnot. Who's going to own what afterwards? Now, if that property, to me, is deed restricted going way back because of the water rights into the factory, which Myers had and was passed along. Now, like I said, how they're going to separate that? Because like I said, even now, if it was to go to a new owner somehow, the dam is also in the title search. I don't know how you can separate that. I still come back to that point. Because you can't, to me anyway, you can't say, Mr. Berger, you can keep your pond, but you got the dam now too. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm also curious now, I was looking at it the other day, and I do see trees growing down there now on islands. And I have a tax question, like I said, with the DEP now. If an island is being established now from the land beneath, is that taxable property now? You know, where does this end? I don't know. So, just passing it along. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good stuff.
Anyone else? Yes. Good evening.
Jackie Revelinsky, 32 Elm Place. I know when we talk about bringing new business into town, One of the things I think would help is, and I've asked for this for years and years and years, is to have the county do total reconstruction of Main Street. Businesses were flooded again with this past storm. They had to pump out their basements on Main Street. And if you're looking to bring in business, besides parking, flooding's an issue in town, and it always has been. And we pay county taxes, Board of Ed taxes, municipal taxes. I don't see why the county continues not to be interested in doing total reconstruction and putting in catch basins and everything else to eliminate the flooding on Main Street. And I would ask if you could really push that issue before they repave again, because all they're doing is putting Band-Aids on top of an open wound. Okay, thank you.
Jackie. Well, honestly, under revitalization, Jackie, I'll take that.
Well,
I'll take that.
and
Kind of revitalization DPW. I'll
Yeah,
go with
so
that.
I was going to say, the DPW chair,
You might
may know him. All right, we'll ask him too.
But yeah, me and Rich will look into that. But that's a good idea, Jackie.
It's something that I think would help. I know that when we have those really big rains, it looks like you could drive a kayak down Main Street, so catch basins would probably be helpful for that. And I know that we've asked, but doesn't hurt to ask
No, yeah,
again.
no, definitely. This
Right?
doesn't hurt to ask, yeah, bring it up.
Yep. Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close audience comments and move on to council comments. Is there anything further that anyone on the council would like to bring up at this time?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to also congratulate Kelly Boyd as our new Recreation Director, and look forward to seeing the Rec Department moving up and forward. Thank you.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I just said, I'd like to echo the sentiments of Councilman Potter. Congratulations to Kelly Boyd. And I'd like to also hope everybody has a safe Halloween and be extra careful with the costumes and tripping in the cars, because the cars are a problem. And I just had a question on Mike. Is there I think I asked you this in private, but is there any way we can get that gate valve opened again, or would we have to go through the state for that? We used to have that gate valve, they used to open it up on the floods, but the kids kind of tore it off over on the bank side of the dam.
On the dam?
Yeah. Will we have to go through the state or go through Brunswick? Or?
The ownership of that dam has been in question for a long time. I coined it an orphan dam. Really no record, nothing we've been able to find with the term who owns it. The borough has over the years lowered it by removing their wooden battens.
Right.
To try and lower it. We're looking at a possible grant program that maybe the borough could go through and have some ability to do that with their grant program. So, but right now, what does help you is the dam that New Brunswick controls way down here at Route 18, and that is operated subject to DEP.
Right. Okay, thanks, Mike. Well, it gives us some hope.
Yes.
So John, would you share with the people what you're talking about with the dam and the valve?
No, there used to be a what was it, a wheel? And they used
Bypass valve, yes.
Bypass valve, and they used to turn it when the floods used to come in.
How long ago, when was that?
Well, years ago. Probably when you were young.
That long ago.
It was that long ago.
And then some kids came along and broke it?
Yeah, I guess, right? People took the chain off it, and then I guess they removed it, or...
Yeah, I'm not sure how that all happened.
That's what I heard the story was.
All dams have bypasses, and that's a good one. But I'm not sure that valve would be operational now.
Yeah.
Maybe an opening in now to try it.
Right.
Valves have a tendency to, the mechanism of that's over time to deteriorate.
Rust up.
And it might drain all the lakes.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Okay. Anyone else have any comment?
I didn't mean to overlook this when reporting earlier, but the police staff has increased by 1 part-time dispatcher and 1 crossing guard with the passing of our consent resolution tonight, and we welcome that.
Good, welcome. Good to hear. Anyone else? Seeing none? I lost my script, sorry. I'm closing up shop before I'm even done. I will close council comments, and now it's mayor comments. So, we're talking about Halloween. We forgot to mention that Haunted Riverwalk is coming up this weekend, the 20th anniversary of the Haunted Riverwalk. So, some of us, we were all invited, and some of us got to go to Joyce Kilmer for a little celebration for the 20th anniversary, which was really nice. They gave a little history of how it started, and it's really becomes another nice Milltown tradition that benefits the 8th grade class, and I know a lot of us have had kids that have gone through there, and it's been a lot of fun, and so go support the 8th grade, enjoy, be careful. There will be activity going on Main Street and Washington Avenue, so enjoy that along with all of the other holiday festivities that are going on. Other than that, I think that's it. So I will close my comments, and then we can move on to a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilman Collins, second by Councilman Potter. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Do I get a vote?
Monica.